Red alert! Red alert! Red alert! Calling all dedicated SME sales and marketing professionals. Don't be shell-shocked with what you are about to read. Alright. We need to talk about the escalating rental in busy town areas. It's a necessary evil that small and medium enterprises need to suffer. True. Jokes aside. Believe it or not, we as business professionals must be aware of rising cost of business properties rental. Truly it affects our performance as concerned SMEs sales and marketing individuals. Don't believe. Just keep on reading and you will discover why. Agree. Hold your horses. Just don't dive straight into the deep end of this newsletter before you read this preview. Alright. Truly you have to read all the salient point below to believe the truth of the matter. In essence, many small-time operators in the field of dressmaking, battery replacements, repairing shoes have gained much in terms of rentals and operational costs. Some small setups save up to 50% of their rentals and others by doing their business at home. With the savings on rentals, they are now operating competitively on prices, convenience, and better customer relations. Even with the burden of having to pay fines for operating at home, to say the least. Without further ado, let's jump straight into the deep end of this week's bulletin. Shall we? Thanks. Breaking news: home-based business owners save on rental. Georgetown. A few operators who closed their shops and took their businesses home are now grateful for their decisions as shoplot rentals began soaring with the end of most of the government's COVID-19 precautions. Mechanic Kelvin Ching was even fortunate enough to do it shortly before the pandemic struck. For almost 20 years, he ran a workshop specializing in vehicle battery replacement. The rental of his previous Badu Lanchang shop used to be about Rm 2,000, it kept going up until the landlord wanted over Rm 3,000 in 2019. So, he moved his business to his home in Taman Green Lane and parted ways with 3 workers. Now going solo from home, Ching, 46, looks back and is glad he did it just before the pandemic and movement control order came. I have better control of the business and remain competitive by offering better rates, he said. He lost half his customers, but Ching said by operating from home, his reduced operational costs made it all worthwhile. There was another blessing: I am now closer to my family. In retrospect, Ching believed that if he had tried to keep his shop alive in the thick of the pandemic, he would have suffered major losses. Maggie Lim, 40, was another one who saw the merit in taking her business home. She closed her clothing boutique here about 2 months ago, and moved it to her landed home in Jalan Masjid Negeri to cut cost. I could not compete with online businesses from my shop. Their prices were always lower as their running costs were low. But now, I can give them a run for their money. I save on rental and hire fewer workers now, she said. 3 months ago, cobbler Lo Ah Fan had the same epiphany after vandals and riff-raff harassed him in his 5-foot-way setup in Jalan Tan Sri Tayu Lim in Jelutong. He moved his humble trade to his house in Jalan Sir Ibrahim and was happy to see that his customers still went looking for him. I started working in a shoe factory at 15 and worked there for over 40 years before I became a cobbler at 59. Working from home is safe and peaceful. Many regular customers still return as I charge reasonably while delivering top-notch handiwork. I am 84 and still sewing without any visual aid, said Lo. Real estate agent Vincent Liang said rents in Penang went up by between 5% and 10% after the MCO, particularly in prime areas. In popular places, there are many tenants moving out. While the properties went vacant, some owners took the initiative to refurbish them and now increase their rental rates as businesses return to normalcy, he said. Liang said not all residential properties could be converted for commercial use. Some would rather pay compounds for operating businesses in their homes than go through the cost and hassle of conversion, he said. He felt that while it could be cheaper to run a business from home, some businesses could lose out on visibility and access. Larger businesses still prefer a dedicated space in a commercial area, he said. Believable. You bet it is. To wrap up the news on residential-based business operators that managed to save on rental, here are some salient points. In summary, mention must be made on the seriousness of the rental being raised excessively. Frankly, this does affect highly on the livelihood of small-time business operators in our country. Period. Not to sound like a parrot, it is worth repeating that without rentals, many small-time operators engaging in dressmakings, batteries replacements, repairing footwears are now enjoying low operational costs. Also, some small businesses does gain savings of at least 50% without their leases and others. It was made possible by their switchover of doing their enterprises at home. Moreover, with their financial savings on leases, they're now operating competitively on prices, comfort, and better client relations. In spite of having to pay fines for running their business at home. Does that all makes better sense now? Agree or not? At this juncture, it's best now to seriously ponder over the impact of high rental on profession as SMEs, sales and marketing professionals. My humble advice to you and me is to tell our clients and prospects to examine in details on the pros and cons of operating business at home or in a shop lot. As a parting gift from me to you is a memorable words from Nydia Velasquez. He is a politician serving in the United States House of Representatives since 1993. He say, for small businesses to thrive, they require an environment that is conducive for growth. End of newsletter. Source. Extracted and modified from Open Printed Media. P.S. Although this is a lengthy sales and marketing SMEs newsletter, yet we want to congratulate you for watching and reading this bulletin completely. Since you already read this news, therefore, you now deserve more forthcoming weekly free chapters of the book, How to Apply Sales After Sales Tips and Techniques for Greater Selling Success. Plus, we are eager to know which part of this sales and marketing SMEs newsletter you learned most. Your feedbacks would help each other be more proficient and professional. Remember, these sharings will continue in YouTube, Facebook, LinkedIn, and of course in our author, trainer and consultant's email, josephsung@gmail.com. Upon request. Alright, thank you. We hope to meet you again next week. Goodbye and best wishes. From me, yours truly, Madam Sophia, the virtual presenter to CTM Joseph, the 5th of October 2022.